water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the brown boy Wonder, master of all four elements, could stop them. But when the podcasting world needed him the most, he vanished. 100 years passed, and my brother and I discovered the new brown boy Wonder, an airbender named Abrar. And although his airbending skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Abrar can save the podcasting world.
Welcome to the Brown Boy Wonder podcast. We're back talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm here with Skyler. Skyler, how are you doing, man?
Doing great. Doing real good. We're getting into the good parts of this really good season of this really good show.
Yeah, I think so too. As long as we are getting through it, there are a lot of good episodes here. So we're going to cover 6 through 10 of season 2, and episode 6 is the Blind Bandit.
Oh yeah, you thought we talked about wrestling a lot before. Well, just wait till this episode.
Oh yeah, so we start off with the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, basically.
I don't know if you noticed that the Boulder in this episode, the guy named the Boulder, is voiced by Mick Foley.
Was he actually?
Yeah, did you not hear his voice?
I genuinely didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's shocking that I didn't pick up on that.
I mean, if he's saying like one-liners, like one words, you won't notice. But if he's talking in complete sentences, you kind of figure that it's kind of like Mick Foley's voice there.
I definitely hear it now.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Wow, he's just making fun of his Rock and Sock Connection partner.
Yeah,
that's great.
He is the Rock.
Wow, for years I've been quoting the Boulder, and I didn't know it was our boy Mankind. That's great.
Yes. So the gang are in this wrestling. Not wrestling. It's like more of like
They go to an Earth Kingdom village.
Say a tournament
with some wealthy people in it, and they're looking for. Aang needs to find an earthbending teacher, and he hears about. First he tries out this little like earthbending school, and he's like, "This sucks. This guy's awful. I'm not doing this." Then they hear about like really strong earthbenders in like a combat tournament. Like, all right, we're gonna go check that out. And then that's when we get our cavalcade of wrestling characters, including the Boulder,
and some other guys. One guy with a mask.
Yeah, there was a luchador guy. There was like a guy that like dug around like a mole, like a miner.
Yeah.
There was a guy that looked like King Kong Bundy, kind of.
A little bit.
Yeah. Do you have any like specific fun facts about who all these guys were based on?
Well, I guess the guy with the mask is Rey Mysterio.
That's what I said when I saw him.
I don't know about the other guys.
Yeah, they were called. The big guy was called the Big Bad Hippo.
Yeah.
Who he kind of resembles King Hippo from Punch Out.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. I can see that.
Like even his hair was kind of styled like a crown, so maybe that's more what it was than King Kong Bundy.
Maybe they should have had Mike Tyson from the game.
Mike Tyson wouldn't be in this, would he?
Yeah, the guy with the face tattoo.
All right, that'd be cool.
But they also meet a little girl who is blind.
Mm-hmm. And Aang immediately recognizes her as the girl from his Swamp Visions.
Yes. And her
also,
name
she is the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And her name is Toph Beifong.
Okay, I couldn't pronounce her name. Okay, is it Toph?
Yeah, Toph.
Toph. Okay.
There's a joke later. I won't spoil the setup for it, but just know that it's Toph, like tough.
Oh, okay. I remember. I'll remember that. Toph defeated McFoley. Oh, I mean, the Boulder
Yeah.
by waiting and listening. That is what Bumby told
Boomy.
Aang. Boomy told Aang about his master.
Yeah.
So Aang is like, oh, that's must be my master
That's the guy.
or gal.
That's the girl.
And then Aang and Toph fought, and Aang won.
Yeah, he cheated though. Like I don't know if if there were rules that specifically said this is an earthbending thing, but
That's true.
he did not do earthbending. He did airbending. How was she supposed to fight against that? That's BS.
She is blind.
That's unrelated, but yeah.
But yeah, so the gang is trying to convince Toph to teach Aang, and Toph is saying pretty much no. But Aang and Toph, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she says piss off basically.
Yeah, like
She's like
Wolverine.
I'm not doing yeah, fuck off. Go fuck yourself. That's what he said.
Yeah. Oh.
He's like she's like I'm not doing that. Go away. And then they track her down. They go around the village and they're like, is there a little tough girl around here? They're like, no. They're like, is there a little blind rich girl around here? And they're like, oh, maybe. And then they go to the rich people house and they find her. And she's like, I told y'all to go away. And they're like, we need your help. And then she narcs on them. She's like, guard, come get these fools.
Yeah, I mean, she's not what we expect as a
No.
master.
She's sassy
Very sassy.
and small and young and blind.
And blind. Yep, and blind. So Aang and Toph later on, they got kidnapped by the border crew or the wrestlers.
First, you got to set up that we meet Toph's parents and they suck.
Yes, yeah, they do.
They suck. They're like, our Toph is so small and frail and blind and stupid, and she can't do anything because she's small. And we're just here to protect her because we're rich. We're rich people. Ha ha ha, Avatar. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't know their daughter's real potential.
No, world heavyweight champion. They don't know.
They don't know about the tournament.
And her and Aang kind of talk, and she's like, yeah, my parents suck, and they don't really understand that I'm not this defenseless little thing, but I don't really know how to tell them that. And then, yeah, all the wrestlers from before.
Yeah, they kidnapped Aang and Toph.
They put
for
them in
money.
little metal boxes, and they said, we're mad that you beat us. We think you cheated, so we're gonna kidnap you, and we're gonna extort your parents for money.
What?
And
This is a kids show, by the way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey, kids gotta know that bad guys exist.
Yeah.
Kids have to know that there's evil wrestlers out there that pretend to be Fire Nation because Fire Nations are the bad guys.
Yeah.
And that guy, by the way, was wearing pointed shoes just like the Iron Sheik. Gotta respect it.
Yeah. I want to quote Iron Sheik, but I cannot say the F word.
Oh, you could.
I could. Earthbenders. All the Earthbenders. No.
They go to the exchange. Sokka, Katara, and then the Toph's rich dad, and then her earthbending teacher, who's the guy from earlier that sucks. They all go to the exchange, and they're like, "Here's the money," and they let Toph go. They're like, "All right, take your stupid little girl," and they're like, "Well, what about Aang?" And you're like, "Oh, this is the guy's the Avatar. We're gonna sell him to the Fire Nation." And then Katara's like, "Toph, please, you gotta help us." She's like, "All right, bet," and she single-handedly trounces all these fools.
Yeah, she saves the day.
in front of her dad and everything. And that earthbending teacher, he was like digging it. He was like, "Holy shit, she's really good."
I mean, they don't know what they're missing.
Maybe he was thinking, he was like, "Oh my god, I'm an amazing teacher."
Oh, that's probably true. Yeah. What an idiot.
And then
But yeah,
yeah,
Toph.
they beat McFoley, they beat the other guy, the guy who runs the promoter, if you will. I kept calling him Triple H because he had long hair.
Yeah, yeah, it's Triple H.
And he was running the show. And so yeah, they beat them, and then Toph is like, "Dad, I'm actually a really good fighter, and I'm not weak, and I can do stuff in the real world, and please stop treating me like a baby, so that I can be a person." And he's like, "Wow, I gotta lock you away in a tower or something because you got way too much freedom right now."
And she dips.
And then he tells the Avatar team to kick rocks. He's like, "Get out of here! Leave my daughter alone! Don't come back!" And then they're about to leave. Comes out, and she's like, "You know what? He changed his mind. Let's just go. Let's get out of here. We're gonna go." And they're like, "All right, cool. Yeah, we got our earthbending teacher. Yay! That's a big deal." But yeah, she ran away from home.
Pretty much.
And the parents were like, "Okay, the Avatar stole our daughter. We need to pay the two best choices we know: this shitty earthbending teacher and this criminal who kidnapped our daughter once. We're gonna team them up, promise them money, say go find our daughter." And that's this episode.
Yeah, it's a good episode. I like it. You get an introduction of Toph, part of the crew.
Yeah,
rolling with it.
Toph is a great addition, as we'll see throughout this season.
I do have one complaint about her, but it's later on in the episode.
Is it that she's blind?
No. We know that. There's something else. We'll bring it up later.
Okay.
All right. So that was episode 6. Now episode 7, Zuko alone. So
yeah, it's time for a serious episode.
Very serious. It's a Western episode for Zuko.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like it is a Western, but it's also like a lone Ronin like character. It's what it really felt like to me. There's this samurai with no master, as they say.
Like that movie, the Keanu Reeves movie.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, Last
Not
Ronin.
That one. I've never seen it.
No,
that wasn't Last Ronin. That was 47 Ronin.
47
right?
Ronin. Yeah. 47 Ronin, and then Tom Cruise is the Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, great movie. All right, so Zuko meets his little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Brings him home for dinner.
Well, this little boy immediately stirs shit up and almost gets Zuko in trouble with some Earth soldiers.
Yeah. I think they fled and then they went back to his home. They're cooking some stuff, Yeah. You see Zuko fixing a roof.
Yeah, this family is like being really nice to him and open to him and like, come eat dinner with us. You could stay here. Which is not the first time we've seen Earth Kingdom people be nice to him like this.
Yeah, I think the last episodes, they brought him in, and then Iroh and Zuko dipped.
Yeah, but yeah, same thing's happening here. They like bring him in, they feed him, and he's helping out around their little farm, or whatever.
Yeah, he's kind of like Sam from Holes,
Oh, I can fix
those
that?
holes. Yep, I can fix that.
I can fix
Digging
that.
up. I could dig up both holes.
Sam did not sing that song.
No, he didn't. But the rest of the crew did. Shia LaBeouf and Zero. I wish he did.
So Zuko's like bonding with this little ugly kid. And
yeah.
The little kid he like stole Zuko's swords for a second so he could play with him, and Zuko's like, those are swords. Let me show you how to use them. Kind of like a big brother type thing. And this kid talks about how his actual big brother is off in the war.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. And then the next day, Zuko's like about to pack up and hit the road. I'm out of here. Then those Earth Kingdom soldiers show up again, don't know if they were soldiers or if they're like local Earth Kingdom mercenaries or whatever, but
Yeah.
they know about the war. They're doing stuff, and then they come up and they basically just start taunting the family like, "Hey, your son got captured. He's gonna fucking die. They're gonna kill him on the front lines." So the dad's like, I gotta go save my son. And the little kid's like, what's gonna happen to my big brother? And Zuko's like, peace, dude. I gotta leave. This is weird. So Zuko tries to leave, but then he gave the little boy a knife.
Yes.
A knife. We're also getting Zuko flashbacks
Yes.
from his childhood. Very important in this episode. Seeing his relationship with his
Mom.
his sweet mother and his awful sister.
Yeah, Zula is a problem child.
Oh
These
yeah.
flashbacks.
Well, now you're starting to see why the terrible, terrible movie we watched, they thought that Azula was a great cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah, I see.
Because they were like, oh, she's here now, and we never got any more, thank God. But yeah, she's a little ball of evil, this girl.
I don't like her. That's why Zuko is like this, I guess. Due to his childhood.
It's very clear. We're learning. We already knew that his father is awful. He burned him and exiled him.
Mm-hmm.
And we get more about his father here a little bit. And Azula, there's just not a good bone in her body. She's just completely evil. And she's constantly tormenting not only her brother, but her own friends.
Yeah.
And she's like manipulating her, or attempting to manipulate her mother a little bit. I don't think her mom ever falls for it. She's like, you're a bitch, go away. But yeah, Zuko, as a child, we see like has a tendency to be like a sweeter child. Like he wants to be he's a sensitive boy.
Yeah.
And he has, passionate feelings about things, but just the family he's growing up with, not including his mother, like he feels the need to try to be evil a little bit. Like he's like, Mom, this is how Azula feeds the ducks, and then he throws that fucking bread at the duck, and then the ducks kick his ass. And then yeah, he's clearly had family issues for a long time.
Yeah, he's been traumatized this whole childhood.
But he gets this knife from his mother as like a token of like, never give up, Zuko. Be you be you, and don't be afraid to fail. Which he does in front of his grandpa, and his grandpa's like, "What is this? Get out of here." I love that scene where they go before Ozai's father, the Fire Lord back then, Zuko's grandfather, and they're all like prostrating before him, and Ozai's like, Azula, show your grandfather the cool fire move you can do, and she does it, and the grandpa's like, I don't care. What do you want? Go away. And that great shot too, because Azula gets up there and she starts doing all her cool moves, and it shows Ozai has a little smirk. He does a little smile, and then the second Zuko stands up, the smile goes away.
It's tough for Zuko, man.
He's always hated his fucking son because his son is weak like the mother. That's what he's thinking. And then the family kind of skedaddles, but Zula and Zuko stay behind to listen. And Ozai is like, because one of the things we learn in this flashback is Iroh's son died in war.
Yes.
And Iroh was like, this great general. We knew that, and he was trying to take over like the Earth Kingdom capital, Ba Sing Se, which we'll see later.
Yes.
He's trying to take it over, but the invasion of that city failed, and Iroh's son died. So Iroh like packed it up, and he's like, "I'm going home. My son's dead. I'm not doing this anymore." So everyone's kind of like, Azula calls Iroh weak,
Hmm.
And Zuko's not having that. But then they go listen to what Ozai's saying to his father, and he's like, "My brother failed, and his son is dead. You should kick him out and make me Fire Lord when you die." And the Fire Lord does not like that.
No.
He's like, "You're a piece of shit. I've always hated you. Your brother's the good one. You suck. You will not be Fire Lord. I can't believe you said that. Your kids suck." Like he starts, he's going off on him, and then that's all we see of that. Like it's a definite no.
Yeah.
But then the next thing we know is Zuko's mom is gone.
Yeah, she dipped.
Grandpa is dead,
Yeah.
and Ozai is the new Fire Lord.
Yeah,
Connecting
it's
dots.
yeah, it's not a good look. Are we gonna get more flashbacks?
He killed him, man.
He did.
We don't get too in depth. Like this specific situation. I don't believe we get any more details on. Like it's left for us to connect the dots here. We might get more stuff with like Zuko as a kid with Azula. I don't remember too much more. I will say that there are certain questions left. I won't say unanswered, but open ended by the end of the show.
Yeah.
That is explored in comic books, which I have not read, but are apparently very good.
Mm.
So we'll get to that once we, finish all of this. We'll talk about that a little bit, I guess. But
Yeah. I wish there's like one episode just for flashbacks. I think they can carry like at least 2 episodes of flashbacks.
the flashback stuff is very interesting whenever we do it. Like this episode and obviously the Storm episode from season 1.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff here. We get a lot of details, but going back to present day, Zuko, like I said, gave the knife that his mom gave him to the little boy, and like, keep this, protect yourself, protect your family, don't give up, and like kind of in passing that same knowledge to this little kid that he had a bonding moment with. And then that kid, I guess, immediately turned around and threatened those Earth soldiers, and so they took the kid and were like, "All right, well, we're taking you to war then. If you got a knife, you're going to war." So Zuko shows up, as all cowboy heroes and westerns do, to
Yeah.
fight the bad guys in the town, and he starts kicking everyone's ass.
Clint Eastwood style.
Yeah. He starts to fail a little bit, but then he goes full Zuko, busts out his firebending, and now he's firebending in front of all these people.
He shouldn't done that. He shouldn't done that.
Probably not. Yeah, so he beats them. He beats the bad guys, and then he immediately, with his pride, is like, "I'm Prince Zuko, son of the Fire Lord. Tell these fuckers to get out of here. I win."
Yeah.
Then the crowd starts booing him. They're like, "Boo! Fuck you! We
Yeah,
hate you, Fire
they
Nation
don't-
scum!"
Yeah, they don't like the Fire Nation. It's kind of sad because Zuko's trying to help them.
Yeah, and he goes up to the little boy and he's like, "Here, I gave you this knife. I want you to keep it." And the the boy literally says, "No, I hate you," and he runs away.
It's tough, man. It's tough to be a firebender.
Oh, it's
No one
tough
likes
to
you.
be. It's tough to be Zuko.
Yeah, that's true.
He can't catch a break. This guy.
Well, what can catch a break is his hair is growing back.
Oh yeah, it's getting good.
I like it. And he rides off to the sunset
Yep,
with everyone hating him.
it's the end of his story here.
Zuko alone. All right. I don't have any interesting facts for this one, but let's just move on
Okay.
to episode 8.
Is this not the only episode in the series that doesn't have Aang, Katara, Sokka in it? I think it is. Could be wrong.
I think in season 1 there was a Zuko only episode, I believe.
Was there?
Think so.
All right, maybe.
I gotta check the books, but episode 8, I think it's my favorite episode. With these 5 episodes, but
Is this the chase?
yeah, the chase. Episode 8, the chase.
All right, I'll give you an interesting fun fact about this episode.
Sure.
When Avatar first started airing, I didn't watch it like from the get-go.
Hmm.
I didn't come in until season 2, and this was the first episode of Avatar I ever watched.
Oh, well, you watched a good one then.
Yes.
uh, Early on in the episode, you see Toph not being a team player.
Yeah.
Because Katara and
Who was this? This kind of gives flashbacks of when they were going through the canyon and Katara and Sokka were bickering about stuff.
yeah,
Who do you think was right here?
ooh. So
I think a little bit of both, maybe.
a little bit. I
'Cause
see more on. I don't
Obviously,
know.
Toph was in the wrong because, like, hey, you're part of the team now. You gotta be part of the team. You can't just go set up your tent away and then not. But you gotta join the family, dog.
Yeah,
Uh,
family.
but Katara just doesn't know. She approaches these situations like, "Can I speak to your manager?" Like that's what it seems like. You're not gonna make friends that way, Katara. Even if you're technically a little bit right here.
I feel like I'm more on Katara's side. You gotta be a team player. You gotta help out the crew. But she's just
Yeah,
chilling with her own tent made of rocks.
Tara says something a little fucked up in this episode. We'll get to it.
All right. Oh, which one? Okay, we'll get into
Oh
it.
yeah,
Well, they're being chased by the some machine.
yeah. This big like tank thing shows up, and Toph feels it in the vibrations in the ground, and she's
Yeah,
like, "Something's coming. We should go." And then they get up and go.
they're going. They're still being chased, aka that's the name of the episode.
Yeah, the first half of this episode, more or less, is they try to set up camp. This tank comes back. They got to keep moving, and it keeps extending further and further into the night. Nobody's getting any sleep, including Appa. No one's getting any sleep,
No.
and they're just becoming tired and haggard and kind of bickering with each other because, like, they can't stop running, but they're running out of energy while this tank just tirelessly pushes ahead. Um, and yeah, the arguments between Katara and Toph extend like every time they land. Katara's like, "You need to help," and Toph's like, "Go fuck yourself." uh, there's a point where they're all laying down trying to go to sleep, and they didn't have time to set up the tents or anything, so they're laying out under the stars, except for Toph, who's in like a little rock tent
Yeah.
thing. And Katara says, "Boy, the stars sure are beautiful out tonight. It's a shame you can't see them, Toph."
Damn. That is messed up.
I can't believe she said that.
uh, well, I'm always on Katara's side. Even though
Always.
even though she's blind,
Even though she's bullying a blind child. Gonna
yeah,
be on Katara's side here.
yeah. I mean, she has the other senses, right? She's like Daredevil,
That's true.
so she's a normal person then. So it's fine.
Not quite.
I know she's blind. But I think after that they still flying out with Appa, and then Appa fell asleep.
Yeah, my man's losing it. He can't do
Yeah,
it anymore.
he fell down. Or he was struggling.
Yeah. Uh Trying to remember if it's before this or right around this point where we finally learn. I think before Appa falls asleep in midair, they try to post up on like a mountaintop and like try to catch up to that stupid tank. And then
Oh
we
yes,
finally see who's driving the tank, and of course,
it's the trio.
it's Azula. It's Azula and the gang, and they got these like these little lizards that they're riding on.
Yeah, is it a lizard or a snake?
They're lizards. They have legs.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember.
Uh, yeah, they're chasing them down, and they almost get to him that time. They're just able to get away.
But also, Zuko is following that trio through the tracks.
Oh yes. This is really interesting because the episode, like I said, the first half is them being chased, and then the second half, it's all like small events that lead everybody to the same location. And it's really cool. So Zuko is following Azula's tank. He's like, Azula's trying to get the Avatar. That's my thing. I'm supposed to do that. The gang's trying to run away. They've realized that Azula's tracking them because Appa is shedding.
Yeah. He's tired,
so
man.
Aang comes up with this clever plan to quickly bathe Appa, get all like the excess fur off, take a bunch of the fur, and then like lead a fake trail somewhere else to confront whoever's chasing them.
Yeah.
And then Toph and Katara, their fight has reached a point where like Toph's like, I'm just leaving. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Because I think Aang even yells at her, and she's like, I'm
Yeah.
out of here. I don't need this. So she leaves, but then when she's separated from them, she bumps into Uncle Iroh.
Yes, and I like the scene.
She hits him in the ass with a big rock. Well, I'm assuming he's trying to go to the bathroom or something. He's like squatting behind something, and she just knocks him down. He's like, ah.
After that, I mean, they had a great conversation.
Oh yeah.
I really like that scene.
Great heart to heart where he just goes full uncle mode where he's like, this little girl is having a struggle and I'm gonna talk her through it. And then he says that he's looking for his nephew, and she's like, is he lost? And he's like, yeah, he is. Not in that way, but he is. So basically, Iroh not even knowing who she is, convinces her to go back to her friends. Yeah, that's great. I love it.
I love Iroh. He's a great guy, man. Great. He's the wise man, I want to say. After that, we'll have a one-on-one with Aang and Azula.
Yeah, he's like, what do you want? Who are you? Leave me alone. And then she starts doing a stand-up routine. She's like mocking Zuko, and I love the way she said, because I don't know if we've talked about the voice actress Grey DeLisle yet. Obviously, Azula is one of her best characters, best performances. So great, and just the way she says, because she does that impression of Zuko.
Yeah,
she says, "Go ahead, you can laugh. It's funny." The psychopath.
I don't like Zula, man. We'll have a triple threat match with Aang, Zula, and
Zuko catches up.
Yeah, triple threat match.
And then also Sokka and Katara have a brief showdown with the other two, Ty Lee and May.
Yes. So it's a civil war right now in this episode.
Yeah, it's every character's fighting, and Katara and Sokka would have lost if they didn't have Appa with them. Appa kind of knocks them into the water, and Ty Lee said she thought Sokka was cute. What do you think of that?
I wasn't digging it.
Man, come on. You know Sokka's got Riz.
Well, I'll say yes right now, but
the ladies flock to him, man.
I know Princess Yue and
Suki, and now Ty Lee's like giving him the eyes. She doesn't even know what's going on.
Okay, I'll give him credit.
Okay.
Uncle Iroh also showed up too.
Yeah, so Aang and Azula and Zuko are all fighting, like you said, triple threat match. They're all throwing punches at each other. And then Sokka and Katara catch up. And then Toph comes back, and then Iroh slides in, and it becomes everyone gang up on Azula. This lady needs to go.
Yes.
Which was so great. The spot where they all had her cornered and they were all standing in a line together.
It was like in Avengers where all the Avengers were corning up on Loki.
Loki. Yeah, yeah, it kind of was.
It's kind of like that.
She's still talking her smack, even though she's massively outnumbered.
But let's talk about what happened right there, right
Oh,
then.
how,
Zula,
how scared were you?
I don't know. I was like, that's how you end the episode. But yeah, Zula struck Iroh with lightning, and he looked like he's dead.
Yeah, he went down.
And then,
And Zuko did not take that well. I do love the shot because as soon as she takes off her shot at Iroh and he goes down, everybody like throws all they have into like one shot, and it looks like Azula just exploded.
a little bit.
And I don't think we've seen in the episodes we're covering today. I don't think we've seen her since. As far as you know, she's dead.
Yeah,
Probably not though.
I mean, she's a big villain. I don't think she'll die there, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
so yeah, Zuko hits the fire, Katara throws water, Aang throws his air, and it's so funny because I went back to double check, and I'm like, yeah, Sokka threw the boomerang, and it bounced right off of all that explosion.
That's funny. But yeah, big cliffhanger. Is Iroh dead?
Iroh goes down, and Zuko is so distraught he doesn't even try to fight the Avatar. Katara's like, I can heal him probably, and he says, "Get out of here!"
Yeah.
He actually screams, "Leave!"
And they left.
And also, while they were all squaring up on Azula, Toph had a moment where she, like, with her ears, recognized, like, oh, that's the guy that helped me.
Yeah.
And now he's down.
She feels
crazy.
bad.
That's crazy, man.
I don't know, man. That's a good cliffhanger.
The episode ends with Zuko over his potentially dying uncle, and Team Avatar flies away, lands on a little mountainside, and they all just crash, fall asleep together.
Damn, this was your first episode of Avatar. Dang, that's a good episode.
It's a really good episode. Yeah,
you're already hooked.
Absolutely.
Do you have an interesting fact for this episode? It's not really interesting, but it's like, oh, aha. It's when Sokka makes a wig out of Appa's fur, and the wig resembles Marge's hairdo from The Simpsons.
That's an interesting fact. Who wrote that down? What's that from? Who said that? Or did you just write that down?
No. It was on the wiki, the wikis.
So someone was like, "Yeah, that looks like Marge," and that's the interesting fact.
Yep.
All right, I'll accept it. I don't have any other choice but to accept it.
All right, that was episode 8 of The Chase. Great episode. Now episode 9 called Bitter Work.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
the good news is Iroh's not dead.
Yeah, he's alive.
The bad news is Zuko made him tea, and he's not very good at it.
No. Not at all.
Aang, yes.
Aang
the majority of this episode is about Aang trying to finally get his first lessons under his belt for earthbending.
Yes, with Toph, and it was some tough training. Iroh is also teaching Zuko how to do some lightning. I wrote this down. Do you think what's his name? Iroh, is he the a copycat of Raiden from Mortal Kombat?
No.
Because they do lightning a lot.
I would not say copycat. We do see finally that he because we've only seen him deflect lightning twice. Yeah. He deflected lightning from the sky and he deflected lightning from Azula, but we see him actually produce the lightning in this episode. Like he can full on shoot it just like Azula can. And yes, he's wise and yes, he's helpful, but Raiden is like a god who has to help stuff. He's like, I gotta do this. So fucking tired of Earthrealm. I hate everything here. but Iroh, he's like, he sees Toph having a hard time, and he's like, "I'm gonna help you through this. I'm here to help. I'm happy to be here."
All right, all right. Aang is losing confidence of the training with Toph.
Yeah.
Iroh's technique can help Zuko of doing the lightning stuff.
Now I know that you're always Team Katara.
Yeah.
You're Katara's biggest defender.
Hmm.
And I like Katara quite a bit, but here's where she pissed me off in this episode.
Uh-oh.
Toph is doing her thing. She's like, "This is how you earthbend. You get strong and you do strong stuff, and you gotta listen and you better do what I say." And Tara sidles up and she's like, when I was teaching Aang, I like to be nice and do things this way." And it's like, who the hell told this English teacher he could come in here and teach mathematics? What are you doing? This is not waterbending. You let the earthbending teacher do the thing. Go away. And she kept coming up. She's like, "You gotta be nice." And Toph is like, "Rocks aren't nice."
She's a tough teacher, I have to say that. But, you gotta show some soft side.
She got results.
Yeah.
Like at the end when Aang finally did some earthbending, Katara's like, "You did the nice person thing, didn't you?" And Toph is like, "Yeah, just a little bit." But I was like, "Well, after he moved the rock, you did." Like, your stuff did get the results. You were right.
I mean, all right. It's that Rocky moment. You can't give up. No, not give up. You gotta train harder and harder, and that's what Toph is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, later on,
Sokka got stuck in a hole.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, how the hell did he get trapped in a crack?
He's the unluckiest man in the world.
I thought he was the most riziest.
Well, yes, that's the balance it out, right? His Riz is so strong. He has such a gravitational pull for the ladies. But to balance it out, everything else, like if there's a stray to be caught, Sokka's taking it.
Damn. I like that. Okay. I like
You like that?
But yeah, Aang is like, "Man, we gotta get out of this hole." And eventually, well, let's go back to Zuko. Zuko is feeling the flow of the technique, but Iroh taught Zuko lightning, but he's not a little bit.
He taught him how to deflect.
But Iroh said, "Do not use lightning."
Yeah, well, Zuko, I don't think Zuko is like baseline powerful enough to even produce lightning. That's why he didn't even bother trying to teach him that. But yeah, the move to deflect it, Zuko's like, "All right, I know the move. Now shoot some lightning so I can deflect it." I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
Dangerous.
It reminds me of the scene in Uncut Gems where Kevin Garnett said, "Why the F would you show me something that I can't even have it?" Exactly. That's what Zuko was saying to him.
Exactly. Yeah, well, it's the ultimate just in case. It's like, listen, I hope you never have to use this. I'm just showing it to you because your bitch sister is gonna throw lightning at you, and I'm just preparing you, And then
it's the last arsenal to use.
And then, Zuko says, "Fine, you won't show it to me. I'm gonna have a face to face with the one person who really seems to have beef with me, God."
He wants to get struck by lightning, man.
Man, he was ready for it. He wanted it.
It was an emotional scene, man. He wants to, pow.
He said, "You never held back on me before. Hit me. Do it. I'm right here. Come on."
Oh yeah, he's Arnold right here.
That's how the episode ends. He just breaks down in tears in the rain because his life is horrible.
It's sad, but I like that scene. I like the ending. But let's get back to Aang. He needs to get Sokka out of that hole, and there's a big animal around him. I think they're called the saber-tooth.
It was a saber-tooth moose something.
moose. Yeah. So there was a baby there, and the mama's there
Yeah.
as well. And Aang needs
Sokka
to.
did try to eat the baby.
Oh yeah, the baby was near Sokka, and then yeah, he trying to do a little nibble, but the mama was there, and Aang is like, dude, I gotta get you out. And then I guess Toph taught him, about patience, and at the end, he got Sokka out of the hole.
It was more about standing your ground.
Yeah,
It was like do not do not be afraid. Stand your ground. Stand up to whatever's charging right at you, like a rock would, because a rock wouldn't move.
the boulder.
The boulder, McFoley, and so he did stand up to. He stood up to a lot of things. He stood up to the big monster that was going to eat Sokka. He stood up to Toph herself, and then he was able to move the rock.
Yeah. And then they got out. And then Aang is like, thanks, Toph. I don't think he said thank you. They're like, yay. And then I think that's it. And then he went to the Zuko scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was bitter work, episode 9 of season 2.
I don't know. I don't know if we're ever going to get tired of calling every episode a good episode, but important stuff here. Obviously, we need to see Aang's progression with
Yes.
bending things. And then the Zuko stuff. Man, Zuko's stuff in this season is so powerful. It's why I say the season's the best one.
Even though this season is called Book of Earth,
Yeah.
it's more about Zuko. Because chapter 3 is Book of Fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So episode 10 now. The last episode for this
Ooh.
episode.
Famous episode.
Is it? Oh, I guess so.
I think so.
Okay. And it's the library.
Yeah.
It looks like they're in planet Tatooine in Star Wars.
They're in a desert area.
Or Dune.
It's time.
Yeah.
Um.
Bring out the Star Wars band.
Oh, I made a Dune reference while this episode because they're walking into that like little bar or whatever.
Yes.
That dude spits on the ground at Sokka.
Yeah.
Sokka gives him this look like, the fuck's your problem? And I'm like, no, it's a sign of respect. He's sharing his body's moisture with you.
Fabulous. Let me talk about what made me mad about Toph. Remember I told you like there's something.
Uh-oh.
Here it is. So in this episode, there's a scene that's up close to her dirty feet, man. It was too close.
Hey, she doesn't wear shoes so she can see. It's not her fault.
Okay, but I don't have to see that. I'm not Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, I was gonna say some people might pay good money to see.
No, man, that's some dirty feet. Get out of my face.
That was the last straw with Toph with you.
Yeah, I'm like,
Not her
get this girl, get this girl out of here.
Oh, you know what's funny? This is the last episode, the Bitter Work, episode 9. Toph does this move where she like suits up like this rock suit of armor all around her. And I was gonna point out that I don't know what you would call it. I wouldn't call it an animation error, but maybe some sort of like continuity error. I saw someone post about this on Twitter not too long ago, actually. Her little rock suit of armor has a hole for her eyes.
What?
Yeah, like to see out of.
But she's blind.
Yeah. I think I remember reading something like there was a note for the animation to like give her a hole to breathe out of instead, like for her mouth, but then they just drew it around the eyes instead. It's just a silly little thing.
Okay.
He doesn't need that.
No, I mean, I think she wants to be more human. That's where the eyes will be.
Well, I don't know.
I
It's whatever. Technically a little mistake.
Yeah. But they encountered the library, and it's buried.
They find this anthropologist guy in that desert place. Bless you.
Thank you.
And And he's like, "There's a library." And Sokka's like, "Bet, we're going." So they fly across the desert looking for this library, and Toph gets him. They're like, "There it is." Everyone's like, "Whoa, where?" She's like, "Nope, I'm still blind." And then she does the John Cena, "You can't see me."
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what she did.
and then they do spot a tower. They're like, "Holy shit, let's go check this out." They land. They're like, "Oh no, this is it, but it's buried." Toph's like, "I could feel it under there. It's still intact." And they decide to climb in a little window. And do you know who they find in that library, Abrar?
Well, before we get into that, Toph said she doesn't like books. So when I was watching the episode, I was like, "Oh, can she read?" And I was like, "Oh,
No,
she's blind."
that's why she doesn't like them.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, they encountered a huge ass owl named
Not
well,
named Hector Elizondo.
no.
That's
His
who
name
he's voiced by.
is he? Oh,
Hector Elizondo from whatever you
uh,
want to say. He's from
uh, um,
Pretty Woman, The
yeah,
Princess Diaries,
yes.
whatever. It's
So
your call.
I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, go back and listen. It sounds exactly like him because it is.
Okay. Well, Watching Tong is the owl, the huge ass owl here, and
Yeah, he's spooky, dude.
he's spooky, but I like his philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, nothing he did in this was wrong.
No,
He's like this. He's a spirit, so he's an ultra neutral party where he's like, all I do is collect knowledge, and this is my ultimate library of all the knowledge I have. And he's got these little fox coyote boys that run out in the world and grab knowledge and bring it back to him.
yeah,
And he confronts everyone who just walked in, and he's like, no, I'm not feeling humans anymore. Last human that was here was a firebender, and he used the knowledge of my library to do some evil shit. So this is a confirmation. This is where Admiral Zhao learned about the moon spirit,
yeah.
so he could go kill it. He was here. That's crazy.
He was
Like
there.
go back to season 1. He has a little speech where he's like, "I found a library, and in the library, I learned things." That's this
As
thing.
you should. Sokka should have learned his knots, but he was making some knots
Yeah.
from SpongeBob. Remember SpongeBob?
Oh, I remember SpongeBob.
Yeah, he does the knots with
Yeah.
the what's it part? Is it? He's a ghost. I forget.
Yeah, the Flying
Flying
Dutchman.
Dutchman. Yeah. So he's
The
learning
mon-
knots from him.
The monkey's chain, the monkey's fist, the monkey. I
Yeah.
remember.
So yeah, Sokka should have learned from SpongeBob, but he didn't. He didn't learn. He
That
didn't.
was-
They're in the same network.
That was the episode where SpongeBob forgot how to tie his shoes.
That's a good episode. I always
Um,
forget how to tie my shoes.
What? I just don't retie them.
What?
Like they're always like I don't untie them to take them off.
Okay, okay. Now I have a big question.
Okay.
Are you a shoe sock, or are you sock shoe?
Okay, wait a minute. You're asking how I put them on.
Yeah,
Okay. Shoe sock. I guess I'm typically a sock shoe.
sock shoe. Yeah, me too. I know some people are like they put the sock first and then the shoe, and then they wait,
Well,
walk around, and then they put the other side.
that's weird. This is not about Avatar at all, but we're
No.
doing it now. Well, okay. I have a drawer full of socks in my room, right? But my room's
Yeah.
not where I keep my shoes. My shoes are like by the front door.
Yeah,
So I'll go if I'm like, oh, I got to put on my shoes, put on my socks in my room, both socks, not one,
right.
and then I'll go put on my shoes. But
Mm.
also, I wear sandals a lot.
That's you broke the rule.
What do you mean I broke the rule?
You have to wear shoes.
What do you mean I have to wear shoes?
Nah, I'm just joking.
You tell me I have to wear shoes, and then I come to your house and you say take off your shoes. You need to
That's
make up
true.
your mind.
That's true. That's true. Never mind. Never mind. Forget what I just said. But yeah, Sokka should learn knots from SpongeBob,
Yeah.
and the key is knowledge is power. And the owl is saying, "Dude, do not use knowledge against other humans or other benders." And I agree.
Yeah. He's just
I
trying
mean,
to. He says, "Do not drag my knowledge into your dirty little war."
yeah. He
Uh,
doesn't, I don't think he likes humans.
No, he doesn't. He didn't even want these
No.
guys to be here, but they offered him
No.
knowledge. And I do like that part where the anthropologist guy, he's like, "I have a book because I know things," and the guy's like, "All right, I'll take a book, sure." And then Tara is like, "I've got the waterbending scroll. It's from season 1." He's like, "All right, I like season 1. I'll take that." And then
They always
Aang,
take things.
Aang shows. I like the way he grabs it with his little wing. And then Aang's like, "I've got this wanted poster. I also picked this up in season 1, I think." And he's like, "Yeah, all right, I guess that counts." And then Sokka prepares him some bullshit. He's like, "Look, it's a fucking thing. That should count." And he's like, "Boy, you stupid." But I noticed something.
What?
You're gonna freak out when you realize this. So he took the book from the guy, the
Mhm.
scroll from Katara, the wanted poster from Aang, the bullshit not from Sokka. You know who was there who he didn't take anything from?
Who?
Momo. He didn't take
Oh.
anything from Momo. Momo didn't have to give anything.
But he's an animal, no?
He is, but I don't know. I guess just because the owl's beef is only with humans. He's like, Momo's fine. He can stay.
I think so. I mean, I don't think Momo's like want to use knowledge.
It didn't stop him from trying to eat Momo later. Spoilers.
Oh yes, that's true.
Uh,
But we reached to a dial with the gang.
yeah. Sokka. See, I'm normally very pro Sokka because a lot of his shit he says is well, okay, maybe not the sexist stuff season 1, but a lot of the shit he says is like has logic to it. But in this episode, he's just like, "No, man, we won't do stuff for war." And then as soon as the owl leaves, he's like, "I'm doing stuff for war."
It's messed
And then
up.
he immediately starts stealing things from a public library. He's just like pocketing shit, and I'm like, "Sokka, you're awful."
I'll say this. My brother, he went to school in New York, PS 120, and he took. I mean, he he got, what was it, rent? You rent a book, right?
Yeah, or check out a book. Yeah.
You checked out a book. Yeah, you checked out a book from the library. It was the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the oldest book.
I think
We
the
still
book is
have
called
it.
Charlie.
Charlie,
You stole it. You don't even live in New York.
No. We still have it. I mean, I don't know how.
No, don't say no. You stole it.
We didn't steal it. We just have it
from the New York Public Library.
I think that's. I'm sure. I think that's where it is. But yeah, we still have it, and I wonder how much is the late fees for that one?
Okay. Let me get something very clear here. Don't say no, because if you went to a library,
It was me. It was my brother.
Okay, if your brother went to the library and he checked out a book, and the entire premise of how a library works is you check out a book and then you take it back. You take the book, and then you don't take it back, and you move to a different state, and then 20 years goes by. That's called stealing.
So here's the thing. I think you rented the book or checked out the book, and then we have to move to Texas. So I think he forgot. So we still have it.
Okay, all right. Your brother accidentally stole from the library.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, this owl's gonna get him.
That's true. He will fly here and take me or take us.
He'll take you. Yeah, sure.
Oh, you know what? I'd like to do a podcast with the owl. I wonder what he's going to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about humans and their war.
Ugh, crazy.
But yeah, Sokka and the gang find a big, like, kind of mock planetarium thing, and they start messing with it because he found this burnt scroll that said the darkest day in Fire Nation history, and immediately he's like, "Oh, I got to figure out what that is." So he starts messing with this planetarium to like match the date on the scroll, and it leads to a solar eclipse.
Yes.
And then
That-
they realize, they're like, oh my god, the lunar eclipse means no more water bending. Then a solar eclipse means no more fire bending. The darkest day is literally the darkest day in their history, but also they lose all their fire bending.
I
He was like, war has to know this.
I love this writing because it makes sense.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great world building.
Uh, when they saw that dial, I was like, man, there's a movie called Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny.
Uh-huh. That dial was a lot smaller though.
It was like a pocket square. Um,
So did you think they were going to time travel?
I thought so, but they didn't.
Maybe they still will. Maybe someone in the Avatar world will time travel. Maybe we'll see. Technically, Aang time traveled a little bit, just to the future.
No, he's like Captain America. He just was frozen.
It's like time traveling to him.
That's true. Yeah, so big info that's the darkest day of the
Yeah.
Fire Nation. It was a solar eclipse. That's good to know. Now the game is gonna use that against the Fire Nation, and then the owl said,
Oh,
"Nah, dude,
he's pissed.
he's mad," and then he is attacking the gang now.
He says, "I gave you one rule, and you broke it in less than 15 minutes.
Terrible.
We're you're so done." And he's like, "I'm gonna eat you." And so everyone starts to run away. And the anthropologist is still with them at this point.
Yeah, why is he there?
He
Just get
wanted
out.
he wanted to find the library.
Yeah, you found it. Leave.
Oh yeah. So they're all running, and then Sokka's like, "Wait a minute, we don't know when the next eclipse is. We got to go back to the little planetarium." And he says, "Katara, keep him busy." Or no, I think she says, "Just run ahead." And
Yeah.
then the owl starts chasing them, and I'm like, "Dude, sister's gonna die." They go back to the planetarium, and he starts turning the dials. And I don't know how long he was turning the dials for, but they finally found the next eclipse, and it's only what Sokka said was it's only a couple months from now. And we know that the comet is the end of summer, so this is first.
I think it's pretty convenient that we had a solar eclipse in real life, and then
Oh, that's
now
true.
the show has the solar eclipse.
Did you go out and look at the eclipse?
I did. It was amazing.
Because it's we live in the exact right area. Because people are flying all over the world, right, to see this
Yeah.
eclipse. And people on Twitter were getting really snooty and upset about it. Like, why are you flying to see the thing? It's like, well, because people think things are cool.
Dude, what when the solar eclipse happened, there's no wind, there's no weather. It got really dark.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's what's going to happen to the Fire Nation.
Oh.
But yeah, I just want to point out that it was neat that people are flying all over the world to see this eclipse, right? And we just happen to live in just the right spot where just go outside your house and there it is.
The next solar eclipse is in 2040, around there.
Okay.
So, but it's not near us. It's like some another continent, I think, or another area. But we won't see it here.
No, I mean I saw one. I'm good.
Yeah, same. I took a lot of
Did
pictures.
you look at it with no glasses?
I did. It's crazy. It's like I'm watching Superman doing some
You really
battle scene up there.
You really shouldn't do that.
No. When the solar eclipse was like, it happened like 100%. Then I took my glasses off. But no, I was wearing the glasses.
I don't think you're supposed to do that either, though.
Really? No, it was fine. It was fine to me.
Just staring into the sun.
Oh, I'm staring at the moon, covering the sun.
Listen, they tell you not to do it for a reason.
Well, I did it. I did it for the rock.
Oh.
The library is sinking.
Yes. So on the outside of the library, Toph's chilling with Appa because she didn't want to go in. She didn't care about books, and Appa's too big animal, didn't want to go. the library starts to sink, and Toph is like, "Oh, my friends are still in there." And so let's talk about this really quick. Toph is, and potentially throughout the rest of the show will be, the most powerful person on this team.
Oh, okay.
Like, look at what she was doing. This big ass library underground, and she posted up, and she was stopping it from going.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was taking everything she had, but she's strong as hell, man.
She is. She is a master. That's why her parents didn't see that. I mean, she will help the gang defeat the Fire Nation. I hope.
Yes, sir. We'll see.
Or if she dies, I don't know.
Fire Nation might win. I don't know.
What? That's how you end the show?
Hey,
Nah.
let's talk about how we end this episode. If you want to complain about stuff.
Yeah. So someone took Appa.
Yeah. All those dudes from before that were spitting at Sokka, they rolled up, and they're sand benders.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm a little confused by their powers because I guess they have to be earthbenders, and they're like bending the sand in the way that they make like little tornado gusts to create like little airflows to make their little sailors go, I guess.
I think so.
Because
It's something like that.
they're not airbenders.
No.
They can't be. So I guess they're earthbenders technically.
I think they're trying to be earthbenders, but they don't have all the full power.
Yeah. Well, they roll up, and without saying a word, they just immediately start carjacking our Avatar gang, throwing ropes over Appa, tying him down. And Toph is already like kind of said in this episode, like the sand is so loose, it's not firm ground, so I have trouble seeing, everything's fuzzy. And she's trying to hold this big ass library up, and these dudes show up to start stealing Appa, and she like tries to throw some sand and misses. Tries to throw some sand and misses, and eventually like she's like, I don't have any other choice but to let them take Appa, or else everyone's gonna die in there. So she says, I'm sorry, Appa, and then there he goes.
It was like that the Telltale games on PlayStation, like The Walking Dead. You either choose save Carly or you save Doug.
Yeah. Is that from the first episode of that? I remember.
Yeah.
Who'd you save?
So I always been saving Carly, but I got the definitive series, so I'm like, let me pick Doug. So
Hey, Doug's your boy, and it doesn't matter. They all get shot in the head.
Yeah, I was like, damn. But Doug does some good stuff. I mean, he does some DIY stuff. I like that.
Okay.
But Carly's my girl, so
Carly didn't know that radio didn't have batteries.
yeah, she kind of dumb.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Avatar gang is like escaping the thing with the knowledge they have now, and they're like, "Oh shit, anthropology guy, come on!" He's like, "No," and they're like, "We don't have time," and they leave him to die. So he's gone.
He is gone with those guys, and then that's how you end the episode.
So do you think once the library is completely sunk, down there, the owl is like, all right, no one else is getting in, no one's getting out. You're kind of like a librarian, like me. Whatever, just chill. Or do you think he just eats that guy?
I think he eats that guy.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think he likes. I mean, throughout this whole episode, I don't think he likes any humans. So, and he's hungry.
That dude is gone. I don't. Now I know I've said this a couple times about certain things. We don't ever see him again. He's gone.
Okay,
like that guy's dead.
It's like the tour guide from season 1 in the mines.
Oh yeah, who broke his arms.
Yeah, kind of like that. But yeah, that's a big cliffhanger for this episode.
Yeah, Aang is like, where is my car?
Yeah,
and Toph is just shaking her head. And that's the end. It's funny because I texted you because I was a little late watching these episodes this week, and I said, "What episodes did you watch? Are we watching 6 through 10?" And you're like, "Yes, sir." I'm like, "Oh shit, that's quite a cliffhanger then."
it's a huge cliffhanger. For like
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher, where's my car?
Dude, where's my oppa?
Oh, that should be the name of the episode, not
That's the you know what?
library.
That's the name of the arc we're in.
Oh, okay.
Dude, where's my oppa?
Dude, just wrap up. I like it. But all right, that's it for this episode.
I don't know.
Next week,
Do you think we'll get him back?
uh, maybe at the end of the season.
Maybe at the end of the season. You don't think there's a chance we just won't get him back at all?
No, we'll get him back. He's the main part of the dude, of the trio, of the group.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
We'll see. No, he'll come
Do you wish they took Momo instead?
No, Komomo's cool now. We're tight.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because obviously you had your hangups
Beef.
about Momo when the show. So yeah, you and Momo had beef.
Like Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah, you were dropping diss tracks on each other, and in the chase episode, Katara's like everyone does their stuff. Even Momo pulls his share, and he's like bringing them food and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like, see, Momo's helping out.
he is helping out. I appreciate that. I want to say I apologize to all the fans who love Momo. And,
No, you're one of them now. You're one of the fans.
Yeah, I'm the fan now. But we need our Appa.
Yeah, we
need him.
gotta get Appa back.
All right. Big cliffhanger. Next time we'll be doing probably the rest of the season, I guess, right? 11 through 18.
I don't know. There was a way I was gonna break this down, but Paramount Plus, because this season should have 20 episodes.
Oh,
but it's listed as 18, so I need to figure out what's going on there.
oh, so we're missing 2 episodes.
I think they combined the finale into one.
So the last episode.
Disney. Oh, that's 19. Something's going on here. Are there other 11, 12, 13? This isn't interesting to listen to, me counting episodes. But yeah, so what's listed as episode 18 on Paramount Plus is 2 episodes. But
into one. I see.
Yeah.
It's 47 minutes. I see that. Okay.
I don't know where that last secret episode went.
Well, we will do 11 to 17 and then have another episode for the season finale for season 2. We'll do that and then yeah, we're grinding here as they say.
We're getting through it.
Getting through it. But all right, let's call it quits here. And Skyler, where can they find you, man?
You can find me in the library because I didn't escape.
Damn, are you the owl?
Yeah, I'm the owl, and you're the guy that gets eaten.
Damn, might as well. Well, you can follow this podcast on Spotify and iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts. Of course, I have a Instagram page called Brown Boy Wonder Podcast, and I do have a website called podium./brownboypodcast. It's something like that. You can check out there, and of course, like, subscribe, do all that. And again, let's go
Momo.
Momo.